Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is a collaboration with one of my favorite readers, Tay from Goddess of the Unknown, formerly known as Tarot with Tay. We are linking up to bring you a pick a card that is going to aid you going into Leo season. So we wanted to connect our little fire signs together and really ego boost and tap into your regal, luxurious aspects and bring them into the forefront for this collaboration. Anytime I get to collaborate with Tay, I just love it because she's aided me and helped me a lot, and I really do admire and love her and her channel a lot. So if you haven't already, head over and subscribe to Goddess of the Unknown and send love over there. So over on my side of the collaboration, I'm going to be taking a look at your luxurious aspects that make people admire you. And then over on Tay's channel, she's going to be taking a look at your regal aspects that make people respect you. So we're going to get straight in with the crystals for you guys to choose from. So pile number 1, we have the amethyst. Pile number 2, we have the red jasper. Pile number 3, we have the pineapple calcite. And pile number 4, we have the clear quartz. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in my description box, and I will also have the link to Tay's channel, Goddess of the Unknown, in the description box as well, with the link to her part of the collaboration. So see which crystal you're drawn to, and I will see you guys at your timestamps. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your luxurious aspects that make people admire you. So you guys chose the amethyst crystal. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll move on to your oracle card. So let's get in. So pile number 1, tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects. Tap me in to their, what have we got? We've got the 4 of Cups, binge watching, manifesting results. I think I'm gonna lay 3. Actually, I want to lay 4. Let me move this over. I was gonna lay 3, but I don't know, I just felt the urge to pull 4, so there we go. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects that make people admire them. Pile number 1's luxurious. I'm straight away being told that your boundary setting is on point. That's something that's coming through really strongly. Whether it's something that you've only recently been really harnessing and focusing on and really placing boundaries, or you know, it could have happened over time, or maybe you've just always been that way, but there's this feeling of your boundaries really being on point and you're really enforcing your boundaries in a really stern but healthy way, which is something that gives that air of luxury, because it's like, I've got to come correct to step in here. I can't just, I don't know why I want to say play the fiddle. I've never used that in my life. I don't know if some of you guys use that saying, but like, you know, I can't just play the fiddle. Like I've really gotta work my way in and come correct. Like this person's, it's just an air of luxury naturally, and it's your energy. It's like there's a it's, do you know what I'm feeling? You know Shrek, like when Shrek has his swamp and he doesn't want anyone coming in his swamp, and then like there's a boulder and then Donkey's like, I like that boulder, that is a nice boulder. Like that's what I heard. So it's almost like people may come around you like Donkey was trying to get into Shrek's home, trying to kind of get into your circle, into your energy. You may find that people just randomly compliment you or really trying to come across friendly sometimes, like over the top, because it's like, I'm trying to get into your world, I'm trying to get into your energy, I'm trying to be accepted by you, because I keep being shown Donkey saying that is a nice boulder. So that's something coming through right away. You may be very protective over yourself, where your energy and time goes, or it could be like you know, very protective over like your home environment or your inner circle, and you don't play about that. So that gives you naturally this air of luxury, because it's like, I can't mess with this person. Like when something is, and I always say this, like when you have like the crown jewels and stuff like that, or you have like a secret recipe, it's locked away, it's guarded, because it's high value, or it's seen as high value. And I feel like you have that sort of energy. So you may be somebody that's quite introverted, or you may just be somebody that takes a minute to warm up to people, because you keep things very to your chest. You keep your cards close to your chest, and you're very careful who you open up to. So there's this feeling of like whatever you're guarding, it's high value, and that's something that people are seeing, because I keep being shown the Gravy Party secret formula and Plankton trying to run with the little, it's like I'm sure it was in like a glass jar, and it was like hidden away, and he's like running with his little legs trying to get it. So there's something about that, but like you'd be the secret formula, you know. Pile number one's luxurious aspects that make people admire them. I think that you guys radiate self-love. That's another thing coming through. We have the sun, Insta famous, seeing the bright side. Some of you guys could have a social media following, or you could just give off that air of like, and I always say this, like some people just have it, and by have it I mean they have this aura about them which makes people want to mimic them, or makes people inspired by them, or it activates, like the whole essence activates other people. There's kind of this feeling of like, whatever you do, especially if it's on social media, it could be like the way you do your hair, the way you dress, the way that you put things together, you know, your home, a career that you may have on social media, whatever it is. I feel like when you do something, you do it right, like you really put your all in. You are an all or nothing type of person, so anything that you pour into, and any craft that you perfect, any outfit that you wear, it's like all or nothing. It's tailored to you, or they just don't see you. Like that's something that I'm picking up. So I feel like that's a luxurious aspect, because it's like there's almost this feeling of looking at you like you've got everything together, but it's because you take care of yourself. Like I feel like not only are your boundaries very much on point, to have strong boundaries and enforce them, you have to have a high level of love for self. And I feel like your love for self is that luxurious aspect that draws people in, because it's like, I'm not going to half-ass anything. I'm going to really apply myself to this sport. I'm really going to apply myself to this. I keep being taken to sports, so I don't know if some of you guys are into sports, post that on social media, but whatever it is, it's like I'm being shown Virgo, so it's very like attention to detail. You know, you really work hard on yourself, whether it's like inner work, shadow work, you know, going to the gym, like health, whatever it is, like you work hard on yourself to make sure that you are the best version of yourself. But it's not for anyone else, it's for you. This is something I want to stress. It's not for anyone else, you're doing it for you, and it's like that radiates off. So it's like luxury, you know what I mean? Like this person's really poured into themselves. We then have the 10 of thoughts, can't even, the end result. We get one more. Oh goodness, hang on a second, it fell to the floor, give me a second. Okay, pile number one, please, spirit guides. Pile number one is luxurious aspects. I don't know, I just shared milk and honey. I don't know if that's like a lotion someone wears, or it's like a scent or something. I just shared it, milk and honey. Pile number one. There's something about the way that you smell, but it's not like, oh, I wear expensive perfumes and things like that. It's not that. It's just like I'm being taken to like skincare, or like getting out the bath and putting oils on my body, or putting lotion on my body. I think that's where the milk and honey thing's coming from. It's like, I feel like you'd be the type of people that would be really good influencers. And you know, when you see influencers and they're like, my skincare routine, my hair routine, my morning routine, I feel like people would want to know what you do, and mimic that, because it's like there's something about that, and the way you take care of yourself as luxury. So it's like, I want to know this person's skincare routine, I want to know this person's hair routine, I want to know this person's morning routine, I want to know this person's self-help routine, and you know what they're doing behind closed doors, how they're getting their hair like that, or how they've crafted in that area. I'm being shown somebody with ballet slippers, and I watched a TikTok where somebody had ballet slippers and they were like wearing them in, and they have to literally like break the slippers. I'm not a ballerina, I'd love to be, but I'm not. But their girl was like breaking the slippers before she was putting them on. So some of you guys could be ballerinas as well. There's something that's coming through, but there's this feeling of like wanting the outfits that you wear to this place, and wanting to know your techniques in regards to something, like because of how well you execute anything in your life. Like I honestly I feel like it's anything. It could be anything you do. You could buy a colouring book and colour it in, and people would want to know what gel pens you had, and where did you get the book from, and how did you get the technique to colour inside the lines. Like, you just have that because I think that you ace everything. You really put your all into things, and I think that then blends into your relationships as well. But I think that you pour into yourself, you focus on yourself, you love yourself, you do a lot of inner work, you don't leave any stone untouched, and that's why you come across as very luxurious. Let me get one more card. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects that makes people. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects that I think as well, like, do you know if like a psychic or a tarot reader, or like say now somebody was like looking at you and wanting to read your energy and like pull cards in you, they would get really confused because they'd either get different messages every time, because I almost feel like there's a block there. So say now you're worried about people like trying to read on you or channel you or bring messages in. Your boundaries are also in spirit, because there's this feeling of like your spirit guides being around you very strongly. I keep being shown Anubis, so I don't know if some of you guys work with Anubis, the Egyptian god. I'm being shown him, so he may work with some of you guys. He could be a protector for some of you guys, but I feel like you guys are very protected in that aspect. So even trying to pull on your energy and read your energy, there's strong barriers in front. So I feel like anyone that would try and pry on you through tarot, I think that they'd definitely have a hard time trying to do that. I'm also being shown like an elastic band, like, and I'm pulling and pulling and pulling it, and then it slaps back and hits me. So if anyone was to try and do any sort of work or anything like that, I feel like it would slap them back karmically quite hard. So I wouldn't have to worry. Obviously, you know, always protect yourself and stuff like that, but that's just something that's come through. I think that you may, the same way that you have people that aspire to maybe do things like you do, if you are into you know, working with spirit and things like that, it's strongly coming up that some people will try and pry into you and get a reading on you, or do a reading on you, buy a tarot deck and do a reading on you, and it's like, don't even worry about that. You know what I mean? It would bounce back. You feel very protected in that way. You may have a lot of Saturn influences over your chart. You may have a lot of Capricorn and Aquarius in your chart as well. You're someone as well that doesn't take any shortcuts. Like, you don't miss any, you don't just like go around the bend. Like, you really do. It's like every single stone is turned over. Like, you leave no stone unturned. You apply yourself so strongly. It's like, if I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym, and there's this feeling of like, if you were to start the gym, you'd have the gym gear, you'd have, you know, the nice gym bag, and it's like you'd put your head down and like be the best at it. And it's not even out of, and this is another thing that's luxurious about you, you don't compete with anyone but yourself. So you're not going into the gym to impress anyone, you're not going into the gym to, and it doesn't have to be the gym, I'm just using it as a metaphor, you don't go into the gym to impress anyone, and you don't go into the gym to compete with anyone around you. It's just like, I'm gonna ace this, I'm gonna, you know what I mean, do this for me, this is for me, and I'm gonna push myself. And that's another luxurious aspect that you have. And then we have the 9 of Thoughts. Sunday Scaries, the tipping point. That's interesting. 10 of Thoughts and the 9 of Thoughts. I do think you have people in their head about you. I think that a lot of people that may anytime you've stepped away from someone, or a connection has dwindled, or you've had to like really cut people off and really enforce boundaries quite strong, I think you've had people in their feelings. I think that you are such a light that you draw people in that do try and take that, because I'm being shown a light bulb and lots of moths flying around it. So because of that light, you are a source of inspiration, you are a source of light. I think that people feed off you, and sometimes they don't even realize that they're doing it. Sometimes they don't realize the light that you have, and then when it's turned off, it's like, oh my god, and it's like there's a lot of wondering maybe how to get back into your life, or what are you doing now. Like I feel like the people you walk away from do ponder and wonder what you're up to now, and still try to you may have people still trying to get back into your life, but I do see people on social media, if you have social media, trying to worm their way in or kind of watch from a view. Like I'm being shown, I don't know if you've ever seen that meme. It's like a meme of like a cat, and there's like an ice wall, and then the cat's like, it's obviously edited, but the cat's on its two legs, and then it's using its paw to like look into the distance, and the meme says like, what's going on over there? So there's this feeling of that in regards to maybe your social media, or just in your life in general, energetically. It's like, what's going on over there? I want to know what they're up to, because if you notice these two cards, the 10 of thoughts and 9 of thoughts, they're black and white. So it's like the light's gone, the sun's gone, so it's like I'm shut out, I'm cut off. And I think that people really do feel the cold when when the sun goes down, when your light's kind of gone there, which is you're really felt when you leave. And when you leave, you're gone. I feel like you're one of those people where it's like, I will cut off cold. But I feel like you're someone that would give warnings, because I think that you really care about people. But like I said, your inner circle is very precise, and I think you're very careful of who you let in. So when people are cut off, they're cut off. It's no like, oh, I'm gonna keep texting you here and there. It's like, no, cut off. And that's a luxurious aspect, because it's like, when I'm gone, I'm gone. Like, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like, when people come into riches and they're worried about it, so they hoard it. I feel like people kind of feel like that. So when it's gone there, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? The sun's kind of gone. And I think sometimes as well, people might not see your worth sometimes until it's too late, or they don't realize the light that you have in their life until it's too late, until it's gone, and then they're in this kind of like black and white. Because I see a lot of people trying to get back into your circle, and that's the luxurious aspects. It's like, I'm out now and I want to get back in, but the boulders are really high, and I'm trying to maybe sweet talk you, or I'm trying to get back in, or I'm trying to see what you're up to. I feel very black and white. So if you don't already, I do see people trying to make their way back. But I see that around you, like people attempting to, or people trying to text you, or people texting a block number, or people trying to come back in. I think you're very good at your cut-off game, very good at that. Your boundaries are very on point. You don't play about yourself, which is really beautiful. And then you have the Page of Fuels coming out, receiving a message. What was I saying? You might even hear from somebody soon that wants to reach out. I know we've got Venus retrograde coming soon. I don't like to push the Venus retrograde of like somebody from the past is coming back, because I don't like to use the doomsday vibes of the retrogrades, and it really does depend where it's happening in your chart. But I do feel there's an air around you of people missing you, or people wanting to reach out, or people feeling like they messed up. There is an air of that around you that I can't ignore. So let's pull some more cards. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects. There really is something about the way that you smell, but it's not coming through perfume, it's coming through lotion. I don't know if you use like shea butter lotion, or even if it is that milk and honey. That's what I said, wasn't it? Milk and honey lotion. I've never smelled that. I hope it smells nice. I mean, honey is nice, I guess. What else? I don't know why I'm being taken to strawberries as well. I don't know if you have the Body Shop everywhere else in the world. I don't know what shops are where, but in the Body Shop they do this strawberry smell, strawberry spray, and it's really nice. I personally like the pink grapefruit. That's my go-to, but they do a strawberry one that's very nice. And I know that with every spray they have like lotions that go with it, so I was just thinking of the strawberry one there, but it doesn't have to be. Pile number, your card just jumped out, hang on. We have revelry and indulgence. The thing is, when people are in your circle, you have the biggest heart. I think you pour so much into people in your circle. I'm hearing Katie from Mean Girls, and she says it's better to be in the plastics. I know she says it's better to be in the plastics hating life than not be it, but I mean in the sense of she's talking about wanting to be part of the plastics, and obviously they're seen as this like elite group in school. So with the Satyr card, and it's like indulgence, it's like, or satire, or satire, you know, it's like there's this feeling of being in your circle. There's such warmth there. I think that you pour into people so much that they don't realize how much you're really giving. And I think that sometimes people get a little bit greedy with your energy sometimes, or maybe that's why your boundaries are so strong, because you've had people in the past really take advantage of that warmth and get very greedy with it. So it's like I'm trying to indulge in it as much as I can because I really like it, but then it's like I'm not even thinking of the person that's, you know, I'm not even trying to pull back into the person. I'm not even thinking of the person that's giving it to me. And then it's like all of a sudden I'm out in the cold, and it's like I'm kind of fiending for it then, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? And that's where we've got this black and white, and it's like, oh wow, you really did give a lot. So now I'm trying to come back in, and I can't. The door is locked and I can't get back in. And I wasn't aware of that luxury until I was shut out. Like I got kind of, I was indulging in it, you know what I mean? It was taken over me, you know what I mean? And I think you've had people like that in your life, and that's why your boundaries are so strong. I think, especially with it coming on top of the Sun card, you have been a really big light, and I think that you're very generous as well. And I think people, because I don't know if you're like a really good gift giver, or if there's people in your life and you throw really good birthdays for them, or you you know, you just really look out for them. Like I feel like you do. So then there's people that would have been shut out looking at you doing that for other people and being like, I wish I had that. You know, I wish that I had that on my birthdays. You know, if I was still their friend, they'd still be doing that for me. Or if I was in their circle, they'd still be doing that for me. They'd still be looking out for me. So you're really felt when you're gone, and that's another luxurious aspect. Yours is quite deep, to be honest with you. We have serendipity. Bright new prospects are on the horizons. You're also seen as somebody that can put people on. So you may, I don't know why I keep being shown sports in the gym, so you may have really good knowledge about that. So people want to be around you to know your knowledge and really do that. You know, it's like I don't want to just go bodyboarding with anyone. I want to do it with my panda ones because they're really good at it. They have the knowledge, they know where to go, they know where to get the best wetsuits. You know, it's that sort of thing. It's like, you know, you may be really good in regards to like a business aspect, so people want to be around you there. You're seen as someone that can bring in really good opportunities for people. You can put people on, you know, and you may even do it effortlessly. Like you could be around somebody and be like, oh, you like natural makeup? Well, there's this really good makeup brand that does this. And it's like you're able to really put people onto things to elevate them. And I think you just do it in any aspect. So I think that's another aspect about you that's very luxurious. You're a very given person, really very much so. We have the Fire card as well. Reckless actions lead to conflict. Yeah, so anyone that doesn't respect and pour into you the way that you pour into yourself, I think that that is when they're cut out. And I think that especially, I'm being told over the years, and I keep being shown the number 5, so it could be 5 years, you really have been pouring into yourself. So because of that, people then are looking at it like, oh, that, you know, they're pouring into themselves, they're not playing about that energy anymore, I need to come correct. And then anyone that you've had to cut off, they're seeing things in that black and white energy. And then we have imagination clouds, your judgment, at the back of the deck. There's a lot of wondering, like, what do they eat? Like, what's their morning routine like? What are they up to? Like, what car do they drive? What, you know, what skincare do they use? What do they smell like? What's the perfume? Why do they always smell that good? What's the secret? Like, there's a lot of that coming through. Pile number 1. Okay, so pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. Pile number 1's luxurious aspects that people admire about them. I feel like you always look good. Like even on your down days, I feel like you just look good, like whatever you wear, because it's not necessarily what you wear, it's more your aura and energy. And I think that maybe you may know your color palette, you may know your style essence, you may know what suits you, because you're not trying to follow trends. So it's like a style that you have that's unique to you. Maybe that's another thing as to why you come across, you know, very luxurious. We then have the nurturer here as well. Like I was saying, I think you guys are such a giver. I think that you really pour into people the same way that you pour into yourself, but I think you're very cautious as to who you're letting in and pouring into you in that way. And I think that only other nurturers and only other givers can really come in your circle. You want to make sure that it's balanced. Maybe you haven't always been like that. Maybe it took you a minute to understand that because you just had love for everyone, and that's fine. But I feel like where you're at now, because this is a present energy, I don't think that, you know, that's your energy anymore, where you're just giving it and people are taking and disrespecting and you're still giving it. I feel like there's a really strong wall up to really look out for you, and I think, you know, you really do. There's something as well, and why it's coming through luxurious, there's something intimate about you. I think that if somebody's in your circle, it's not light, it's not just like, oh, you're in my life, we're friends but we're not close. It's like, no, when someone's in your circle, they're family. I think you really nurture and really touch them quite deep, and you're really there for them in all aspects, and I think that's another luxurious, because it's like, that's irreplaceable then, you know. Pile number, I think you help people out a lot as well. Pile number one. Ooh. Pile number one. I just had a bunch of cards fly over my shoulder. Pile number one, please. We have patterns, Elan of the Ways, green heart chakra energy here. Elan of the Ways, or Llen of the Ways. That's Llen, isn't it? That's not an E, it's an L. Or is it an E? Alan of the Ways. I don't know if that's, I don't know. Let me know. That could say Alan, but it looked like an L, and obviously an L and L in Welsh is sh, so it's like Llen, because we have a weird alphabet in the Welsh language, we do. So I was gonna say Llen of the Ways, but then it could be an E. I'll have to look in my book, but that's what you have. And we have patterns here as well. Why do we have patterns? 1 and 3 Jupiter energy. When I think of patterns, I'm thinking of timelines, and then with the 1 and 2 adding up to 3, which is Jupiter patterns, I'm thinking of spirals and karmic patterns, and then like paradigms jumping onto. So I kind of feel like you guys, it's like you're always jumping onto, it's like I'm jumping onto a new paradigm. I'm clearing old wounds, I'm clearing old karmic cycles, I'm jumping onto another one, jumping onto another one. So it's like, you're not someone that people can expect the same thing from. You're constantly evolving. And again, that's the aspect of like pouring into yourself, and really focusing on self and working on yourself. So doing that, you're constantly evolving and growing in that way. So that's another thing that's very luxurious about you. You don't play about yourself at all. And then the back of the deck, you have home. At the back of, let me get it to focus. You have home at the back of the deck. And like I said, what's luxurious about you is your intimacy and the way that people really feel like you see them very deeply and you touch them very deeply, which, you know, people being able to see us, they naturally feel like home. So I think that you have that vibe to you as well. There's so many layers to your luxurious aspects. I don't think it's just, ooh, they wear fancy things. It's a lot deeper for you guys. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your luxurious aspects that make people admire you. So you guys chose the red jasper. The minute I tapped into you guys is collective, I was being taken to like a really light blue turquoisey energy. I do think that's more so your aura. There's colors of like green and teal in there as well. So think of like the throat chakra, the heart chakra, and that color in regards to your aura, it's a very healing energy, a very soothing energy and a very healing energy. And I do feel like you give off that vibration of just calm, nurturing. There's like a softness to you, that's something that I'm taking in straight away with you guys. So let's start with tarot and get into your oracle cards and see what people find luxurious about you. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides, the red jasper pile. Pile number 2's luxurious aspects that makes people admire them. If you watched my pick a card the other day, what was it called? Main character energy. I was saying that people, there was this one pile, and I'm saying it like you've watched it because I feel like it's the same energy. If you haven't watched it, you can go and watch that as well, and I bet you'll probably watch the same pile, because I was talking about people wanting to be loved by you, people wanting to feel the feeling of what your love feels like and what it's like to be in your circle and what it's like to be loved by you. And I'm picking up that energy again. You know the song I Want to Be Loved by You? Can't remember the name. That song's coming through, so it's that same feeling of like I want, like there's this, it's like I want to be in a relationship with this person, I want to be really close to this person because I want to feel their love, I want to feel their touch. Even like you guys could move in a very graceful way, you guys could really, when you speak with people, be very touchy-feely. You could even be somebody that like with your friends or, you know, in relationships, you know, be big on like PDA or just like be very cuddly. You don't have to be, but it's almost like I want that with you. Like I want that, I want that sort of experience with you. I think that people may think of that a lot. There's something luxurious about that. That's like really coming in strong, like romanticized. You're romanticized a lot. So pile number 2's luxurious aspects. Pile number 2's luxurious aspects. Pile number 2's luxurious aspects. Pile number 2, please. I also think as well, this could either be you're constantly or always in a relationship, like you're a relationship person, so it's like I want to be one of those people that they're in a relationship with, because maybe they see you treat that person well and you know you are really loving that way. Or it could be that you're like never in a relationship, so it's like it's a luxury to be in a relationship with this person because they don't enter relationships often, they don't open up in that aspect to people often. Because as much as I am picking up like friendships, so it could be that you have a small circle, or it could be like you could be, I'm thinking of like Kylie Jenner, and I know she had that best friend that then the whole family turned on, and people were being mean to her, and I didn't like that. But I know that she had that one friend that she was with constantly, like every photo she'd have like a, you know, that girl in it. And then when they stopped being friends, I remember like coming up on my Google, there was like another friend, and she was constantly posting this other friend, and she's like apparently known, I don't know how true this is, but she's apparently known for always having like someone with her. There's like a feeling of that, like you may have like a particular best friend, so it's like I want that same treatment. So you could have like a best friend that you've had your whole life, and it's like I want that with this person. Like, and I even see people like, how does this person get a pass and not me? Meaning like you could have like a friend that you're like, I'm hearing blood brothers, meaning like you are, there's a connection there that can't be broken, sort of thing. And then other friends come in and they don't understand why you're treating that other friend different, but it's because there's a different energy there and there's like a deeper friendship and bond there. So it's like they could do stuff, because I see someone going, how can they do it but I can't? How can they do it but I can't? How can you do all of that with them and not me? Like, why are you leaving me out for this person? And then I feel a little bit not protective, what's the word, oh, what's that word called? Not intimidated, not envious. I feel jealous. I'm gonna say the word jealous. It's like I'm jealous, like I want to be where that person is. You could have like certain people that are like soulmates to you, that you're like you have that really deep connection to, when people are like, I want to have that connection with this person. But I am seeing it in relationships as well. So either you are someone that's always in a relationship, or you're somebody that never really is in a relationship but people want that with you. That's the luxurious aspect there. Pile number 2's energy. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 2's energies. I keep seeing you cup somebody's face with your hands. Like hold somebody's head in your hands. You know, like this. Like holding somebody's face and just like, I feel like I want to melt. So I don't know if you've done that in relationships or someone's seen you do that, but someone may reminisce on it. Like I keep being shown you like holding somebody's head, because somebody keeps thinking of that. Like there's something like that coming through, or like somebody's hands on someone's neck, or somebody's hands on somebody's face, or somebody holding somebody's head, and it's like, I'm being loved by you, and it's like, I want that. I really want that again, or I would like that. I saw them do it to this person and I would like that. So there's something about that coming through. I don't know, like that's only going to resonate for whoever it resonates for. If it doesn't, don't worry, but that's another thing. I think because you have that healing energy too, it's a, you get people's emotions moving and their romantic feelings moving. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. Pile number 2 is luxurious aspects. People could see you as luxurious intimately. I'm going to keep it there, but you know what I mean. Because it's like they don't do that with everyone, or I've never really heard of anyone to do that with that, you know, them to do that with anyone. So it's like, that would be a luxury, you know, that aspect of them, the intimate side. That's another thing coming through. So we have the Knight of Fields, ally, standing up and fighting. So the Knight of Cups has come through straight away. Not shocked at that. Then you have the Hanged Man, fun employed, patiently reflecting. I do think that if you spend time with people in a romantic way, they do go home and think about it. Or they do reminisce on that as well. Pile number, oh goodness, we have the Tower, dumpster fire, serious wake-up call. People may fantasize and dream about you in that way. To be loved by you is the luxury with you guys. To be intimate, you know, emotionally with you and mentally with you, and you know, it's like, that's the prize, that's the luxurious part of you, for you to see me deeply, for me to have that deep connection with you. Because I keep being shown, okay, so say now you're in a friend group, but there's one friend that you've had since you were like young, and then there's like another friend watching you, and it's like you may outside of that friend group be with that one friend and go and do fun things with that friend, or you may like sleep over that friend's house, or you know, cuddle in bed, or whatever it is, because it's platonic. And then I'm seeing like this other friend, like, how are they like that with that person and not me? How are they doing all of that? Like, they're driving off with that person but they're not doing it with me. Why can't they be intimate like that with me? I don't understand. So it's like, that's a luxurious aspect. Like, I want that, because then it's given like, you know, in Mean Girls, when everyone wanted to be Regina's friend, like number one friend, and Gretchen was always that, so they had to like crack Gretchen wieners and like stop her being friends with Regina so that, you know, Katie could take the place. It's that sort of thing. It's like, I want to be that right hand man to this person. Like, I want to be that person. I want to be power couple with this person. Like, I want that. I want to make them feel like that. I want them to give me that sort of love. I want them to be thinking of me. Like, I've even been shown a friend that may have feelings for you and being like, I'm hearing You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. Like, I see you may be upset over an ex, or upset about somebody that you're dealing with, and then like a friend that has feelings like, you know, the Taylor Swift song You Belong With Me, like, why can't you feel that for me? I wish you were thinking of me like that. So there's another thing coming through there. And then we have the Four of Thoughts, self-care, manifesting results. And the back of the deck, you have the Page of Vibes, House DJ, receiving a message. This came out for pile number 1 as well. You move people emotionally, or you move people in the fields, like the romantic fields, in a way they might not have thought they would. That might even scare people. They might go and run or run away or not feel good enough, because there's a feeling of that as well. Because I'm being shown Michael Scott from The Office when the fire starts, and he's like, oh my god, it's happening, stay calm, stay calm. Like, I'm hearing that. So like, especially people that do get close, and it's like, oh my god, like they're actually opening up to me, they're actually being deep with me. Jasper's here. And you know what, it's funny that Jasper's come in, because it's kind of like with Jasper, like Jasper won't cuddle just anyone. Jasper won't go and let anyone pick him up. He's got to come to you. Like, I could go up to Jasper now and try and cuddle him, and he would walk away. He'd be like, get away from me. But like this morning, I was like laying there on my phone and I was ignoring him because I wanted him to cuddle me. And like right now, I'm kind of ignoring him. He's walking straight up to me. Hi, boy. He literally came and lied and gave me cuddles, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening. He's giving me love. It's like, it's a luxury when Jasper decides that it's time to, you know, it's time for loving. And I feel like that's you guys. I feel like you guys are like Jasper. Like, it's a luxury when you're chosen, you know. That's something strongly coming through. You may even have people self-sabotage with you sometimes as well, because they could, like, because with the 4 thoughts and the manifesting results, and then we've got the Knight of Cups there as well. It's like, I'm dreaming of you, I'm daydreaming about you, I'm daydreaming of what it can be like. So when it's finally there, I either like don't know what to say and I'm fumbling, or I'm shutting down, or I'm sorry for the camera shaking, that was Jasper running to the window. Or I'm self-sabotaging, I'm running away. Like, I don't have it in me to like take that leap. Maybe like insecurities come up, but it's like, because when you do choose to love someone, friendship wise or relationships, like, you see them, like, you really emotionally involve yourself. Like, I keep being shown like a flower opening, somebody stepping into the flower and then the flower closing, so I'm engulfed in these petals and they're all over me, and I feel bare, like, you can see all of me. And for some people that may be frightening then. So it's like, I'm daydreaming about it, but then I'm frightening when it's happening. And that's why we've got the Tower card, because you may see that people might try and self-destruct a little bit or self-sabotage a little bit. Like I said in the other reading, because I do feel like you picked that same pile, be careful with people that love bomb you and people that do project onto you, because you're more, even though you have this beautiful energy, it's a very divine feminine energy, doesn't matter what gender you are. Even though you have this energy, there are layers to you, and you deserve to be seen as much as you see others, and you deserve to be you know, touched the way that you touch others. You deserve to be given to the way that you give to others. So that's something that I would say, to make sure you have boundaries in place, and that people aren't just running away with the idea of you and the idealized version of you, because you're a lot more than that. So pile number two. Pile number two. Pile number two is luxurious energy that people admire about them. Oh, we have the Golem. A close friend acts on your behalf. You may even have people that go really hard for you as well. Like, you could have, you know, exes that still are very protective over you. You could, you know, have people talk about you in a really light way, like in a really good way, like this person's a really good person. If you have had good times with people, I'm gonna be very careful what I say, because YouTube don't like certain things being said. But if you have, you know, had a good time with someone, like, they may talk about it, and, you know, the people may be like, oh, that's a luxury, like, I would, you know, that would be nice. But also that's me trying to allude to it in a really fun, chirpy way, so it doesn't sound weird. But then also in friendships as well, I think that you could have people really defend your name when you're not there, and it's like, why are they defending this person's name so much? This person must be, you know, a really good person. What, you know, what's going on? And also, I think maybe you defend your friends, so it's like, why are you that's what I was picking up, like, how is it okay for them and not me? Like, you could really defend a certain friend, but then it's like, you may have somebody that you're not as close with, and it's like, I want them to defend me like that. So it's like, well, why aren't they defending me like that? Because they might not be close with you yet, and that's when it's like, it's a luxury to be part of their tribe like that. So that's another thing coming through. But I feel like you do have friends that maybe go hard for you too. because there's this like mama bear, papa bear energy that comes over you when it comes to your own, that people want to be a part of. It's like, I want to be nurtured like that. Pile number 2. Oh, we had 2 cards drop out together. We have the wolf. Beware who you trust. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let me I want you to see the cards. There you go. And then we have the green man. The forces of nature favor you. You guys could be very attractive. When I'm thinking of the forces of nature favor you, I'm thinking of Taurus energy. So physically very beautiful, physically very earthy, naturally pretty. I am going to take it to like Empress energy, so like Venus energy as well. So Libra energy too. You may have a lot of Libra, a lot of Taurus. You may be very Venusian, because I'm thinking of the Empress card there. So you could just whatever you have, I feel like the people that are really intimate with you, you break it off and give it to somebody else. See, it's like, I want to share the bread with that person. They're sharing the bread with their nearest and dearest, but I want to be the nearest and dearest. I want to be loved by them. I want them to, and it's not even about the bread. It's not even about what you're given. It's not even about the, dessert you just bought that person, or the bunch of flowers you just bought that person. It's not even about that. It's about you choosing to do it. I want you to love me like that. I want you to think of me like that. I want you to, give me that sort of gift. I want that from you. That's how it's coming through. But yeah, I'm picking up like a natural essence to you being very attractive. Why do we have beware who you trust? Why do we have that? You guys could be very wary of who you give that luxurious energy to, and that's because you may have had wolf in sheep's clothing step towards you before and given that energy to people that didn't deserve it. That may be why I was pulling up on the love bombing energy and people that idealize you. So it's like, that's why you're careful, and that's why it's like, I want to be loved by this person. That's a luxury, because I think that you really do pour into people in a very beautiful way, and that's why you're careful with it, because it's like, I could give all of this to you, but like, are you gonna even know what to do with it? Are you gonna be able to handle that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you gonna be able to go that deep? I don't know. So it's like, I don't even know if I can trust you yet, because you just could be looking at me because it's like, ooh, shiny, and you might not really want to savor it or respect it. So let's see if you're up for the challenge of me and being shown somebody with a sword, like a knight in someone. Let's see if you're able to come into this royal family. The postman is whistling and having a good time. Do you hear him whistling then? He's having a great day. And then we have the key. Locked doors can now be opened. So it's like, I want access to that type of love. Like, and that's the thing with you. You could be friendly with people, you can have a friendship with someone, but to be intimate is a different story. To have that intimate connection, so you need a specific key. So it's like, I want that key. I want that love. Pile number. Hey, Jasp. I love you, boy. I love you so much. You've been chosen by Jasper today, pile 2. Jasper has chosen you, and he understands your energy. He gets you. Pile number 2. Come on then, jump. Good boy. Pile number 2. We have water. That's literally the colour I was being shown when I opened up to your reading, that healing energy. And that's probably that emotional energy that I was picking up on. Pile number 2. We then have flow. Ooh, 2 watery energies coming through. Love that. I'm being told to pull one more, so I'm going to pile number 2. Sorry for the noise outside. Someone's speaking. We have Lilith, independence. While I'm waiting for them to stop speaking, I don't know why, I just want to tell you, somebody walked past my house the other day. It was like a young girl, and it looked like her older brother anyway, and they were walking down the street, and the girl looked at my house and she goes, you know the lady in that house? And the boy was like, yeah. And then she's like, she has 15 cats. So I don't know, I think maybe because they sit in the windowsill, and sometimes they'll sit in different windows, so it just probably looks from the outside like, especially if all 4 of them are in the window, it probably looks like I have a bunch, and they're like, oh, they have a bunch of cats, they have that many cats. But Yeah, she was like, she has 15 cats. I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna manifest it. I'm gonna manifest that. I want 15 cats. So I'm not mad at her saying that at all. But yeah, getting back to the reading. Water, flow, independence. Yeah, there's something really sultry about you. There's something very, like, think of water, it cleanses, and anything that goes into water, like when you think of like ships that fall and they go to the bottom of the ocean, they get the energy just kind of erodes them. They become one with the ocean. At one point you're going to be at one with the water and at one with the ocean. And even when you think of like water and its cycle on earth, water gets everywhere, whether it's water raining from the sky, you know, going down into the drains, going back to the ocean, and around it goes. Water gets everywhere, you know what I mean? It's everywhere. And there's that feeling about you. You really do, I think you can, I think you're clairsentient. I think you can embody people's energies and see them very deeply. But it's like, I feel like my heart space is expanding and I feel so open. Then it's like you really see deep, and it's like, I don't think people realize the energetic weight of being chosen by you and seen by you and being in a connection with you is like. And I think that's why you're very careful who you let in, pile number 2. And then with the independence card, it's like wanting, I keep feeling like I want you to lean on me. I want you to, someone is smoking something funny outside. I can smell it. I know that smell. See, you know that smell, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I can smell outside. Like, that smell gets everywhere. So it's like a lingering, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? You can't shake it. Like, that's the vibe. Like I was saying about the independence card, it's like people want you to lean on them. People want to be one with you, like one with the ocean. Like, people want to be a part of you, and have that sort of connection with you, which is really beautiful. I'm hearing Toxic by Britney Spears. I don't know why. The song just came through to end the reading. So yeah, pile number 2, that is your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit a thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I will have the link to Tay's channel, Goddess of the Unknown, in the description box. You can head over there to watch the next part if you haven't already. Sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you whatever time it is. I was staring at Jasper then. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your luxurious aspects that make people admire you. So you guys chose the pineapple calcite. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move into your oracle cards. Now, opening up to your energy, I hear 2 things. The first thing is the word showstopper. And then I'm being shown somebody, like, I'm hearing Cardi B in her song Money, and she sings walking past the mirror, ooh damn I'm fine. So I hear that, and then I also hear Lana Del Rey's song Art Deco, where she sings you're so Art Deco out on the floor. So I think that you guys, I feel like you guys are people that turn heads. Like, I feel like it could be the way that you dress, your aura, your energy. It could be the way that you just carry yourself. There's a luxurious add to you, just in regards to your aura. I feel like, you know, when you see people and it's like, that person could be a star, like that person could be a vlogger because I would listen, or a YouTuber because I would listen to them all day, or this person could be a musician because they just have the look. Even if they couldn't sing, it's fine, they have the look. Like, they just have star factor. That's you guys. And that's a luxurious aspect about you. Here in High School Musical, when they're dancing in the prom, and then the boy's like, who's that girl? She's so fine. And then the girl's like, who's that boy? I don't recognize. Like, I'm being shown that when Ryan and Kelsey come in. So yeah, I feel like if you're in like a crowded room, I feel like you do stand out. It could be a style that you have, your hair. Again, it could just be your aura. You could be a very open person, very sunny person. I'm being told that there's a vibrance to you. And I also am being told that you guys command respect. Or it's like, there's like something about your voice, like when you speak, people would naturally want to listen. You could be a good like storyteller. I'm being shown something very poetic about you as well. In the way that you speak. I don't know why I'm being shown Lauryn Hill, if you listen to like Lauryn Hill and you listen to interviews, when she speaks there's so much depth, so that's something that's coming through. There's like a depth. It's like, I really want to listen to you. I know that you're really going to come with the facts. It's like, I really want to listen to you, whether you're singing, whether you're speaking. There's just a wisdom, and I feel like Lauryn Hill is someone that has, you know, a very like luxurious aspect to her, the way she carries herself as well. So and even her album, like that was like one of the only albums she put out, but it's stood the test of time and everyone loves, you know, that album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So yeah, there's something about that coming through as well. Pile number 3. I'm also being told whenever you do something, you do it authentically to you and you put your own twist on it. That is very obvious to you. There's something Aquarian coming through here. Pile number 3. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3. I also feel like you're somebody that does things backwards. Like everybody's going through going into the club through the entrance, but you're going in through VIP, or you're going through the back entrance. Like there's something about that. Like, and what I mean by that is you're someone that okay, so say now you're in a group project and you all have to do something individually. You don't go by the rule book. I'm thinking of like in Harry Potter when they all had to make a potion to win something, and Harry has a book which tells him to do it in a completely different way than the instructions are, and Hermione's getting annoyed because she always does things by the book, but Harry's following this different, you know, this different route to creating this potion, and it works perfectly, but he didn't follow the rules in regards to the book, but he won. And Hermione's really annoyed because she followed the book. And I feel like that's you guys. It's like you do things in your own way. To just because everyone's going right doesn't mean that I have to. I'm gonna go left, and that's something luxurious about you, because it's like, you know yourself, and you tailor things so it fits you. Like, who said that I can't mix this and this together? Who said that I can't cut up this these trousers and make shorts? Like, who said that I can't do that? Who said? I feel like you're the type of person to maybe make your own clothes, or find clothes like in stores or online that like are like one of a kind sort of thing. You don't have to. It's just a vibe that I'm getting from you guys, that you're very unique. Pile number 3. And you're also someone that, like, I can't miss you. I feel like you're here, like you're everywhere, you're here, and it's not out of me trying to be, like, it's not like, oh, I'm trying to be in somebody's face. It's just like, that van is very loud. Like, it's just like that. It's like the van isn't trying to be loud, it just is. So there's an energy about you that's loud. You don't have to be the loudest in the room. You could have the most quiet voice. You could even not even say that much, but your energy, it's like, I'm here, spotlight's on, and I didn't ask for it to be on, it just is, because I am the spotlight. Like, that's the vibes. That's why I'm reading you before I'm pulling on you, you know. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Pile number 3 is luxurious aspects. Something about rings. You could wear really nice rings. I'm just being taken to the hands. We have the Knight of Vibes, life coach, standing up and fighting. You could be somebody that accessorizes really well. You may wear a lot of like luxury accessories. You don't have to. That's just something coming through. Again, it could be tailored to fit you. So if you're somebody that is very natural, you could have like maybe like flower rings, or like waist beads with like flowers on them and colors like that. Or if you're somebody that likes luxury, you could wear like luxury things. There's something about that coming through. You could have a lot of Leo or Taurus in your chart. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. Fixed signs coming from you guys. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Luxurious aspect. I almost just want to read you and not pull cards. I'm going to pull the cards, but I just feel like I just want to keep going. 5 of Feels, the ick, a setback. I feel like what I'm picking up from you guys, it's like, I want to be on your team. Like, if you were to ask me to party, I would do everything to get to that party. That's what it feels like. Like, I'm being trying to disco ball, and it's like, you're the fun, and I want to be part of it. And I almost feel like I'm getting carried away. I feel like you're the type to maybe be really good at like influencing people. You kind of give off that influencer energy, that star energy. Yeah, I think that you guys have a really strong... You're able to influence people just by your energy alone. Pile number 2 of Cups, engagement photos, making a choice. One more card, please. Pile number 3, luxurious aspects. It was really hard to pull your cards, because it was like your energy... I almost felt like I was watching a show, and it's like I'm so caught up in the show, I'm looking at you, and I'm so caught up looking at you in the spotlight that like I'm forgetting what I'm doing. And it's almost like my mind's kind of going blank, because I'm just kind of looking at you, I'm watching what you're saying. Like, you know, you see some celebrities and they have a really big following, and then people watch like all of their interviews and everything like that. I feel like if you were a celebrity, you'd be that type of person. Like, I'd want to watch all your interviews, that, you know, the cuts that didn't make it, like that sort of thing. It's like I can't get enough. The moon, the ghoster, stepping into the unknown. Okay. Okay, so Knight of Vibes, so Knight of Wands, life coach, standing up and fighting. 5 of Feels, the ick, a setback. 2 of Feels, engagement photos, making a choice. The moon, the ghoster, stepping into the unknown. I keep being shown like a fire ring, and inside's like a goblet of water. And I think that sometimes people get so excited by this fire ring and all that it is, they forget that there's like a cup in the middle. Like, there's this... I think that a lot of your luxurious aspects that I would look at and be like, oh, this is a luxurious aspect, sometimes people don't see, because they're so focused on the ring of fire. Does this make sense? Like, a lot of people's projections of what your luxurious aspects are aren't even what you would perceive your luxurious aspects to be, and they aren't even on a soul level what your real luxurious aspects are, in the sense that, you know, you may come across very attractive, you may be somebody that just is really cool. Like, I would say you're cool. You may be somebody that, you know, is able to influence. You could even be a social media influencer. You could have a following. You could have, you know, that regal vibe to you. You could be somebody that's very eloquent in the way that you speak. And there's all of these things, and people are looking at it like, this is luxury, this is luxury. But what's really luxury is what's behind the fire. And I think that actually protects you, because I think what people think is luxury about you, if that's all that they're chasing in regards to coming towards you, they're going to get burned, because, or they're just not even going to make it through the fire, because the real luxury is this cup within the fire, which is why we've got the 2 water cards here in the middle, which is the way you love your some of you guys are psychics. I'm being shown a strong emphasis on the intuition. You're able to put people on. You're able to... There's like a healing nature to you. You're able to... It's similar to pile number 2. Like, you're able to become one with someone and really... I want to say the word feed them. Like, feed knowledge, feed wisdom, help somebody grow. Like, I feel like if I was to... Like, now... Oh, I'm in the fire now. Now I'm in the fire. It's like I've come into the fire, now I'm in the water in the middle, and you're helping me step up my life just being around you. You're helping me see differently, and you're helping me see, because now that I'm inside this ring of fire, and you see how I've slowed down, I'm now looking and the ring of fire is around me, and I keep being shown all of these moths trying to get through the fire. I get onto the fire, and it's like, yeah, okay, these aspects of me are cool, but like, that's kind of like all to do with the ego. That's all to do with what I can do for people. You know, people feeling like these shiny kind of flames. It's like, they think that's the best version of me. They think that's a luxury. What? Because I dress nice, or I look good, or I could look good on someone's arm, or I could be cool in someone's circle, or they could have the benefits of the way I look at things and creating things in my career, or you know, the way I create things, when in actuality the luxury is here. The luxury is my heart. The luxury is how much I give. And it's almost like I'm looking at it differently now. So the people that get through that ring of fire could have a fire rising, or you could have a lot of fire in your chart, Aries, Sag, Leo. Once I get in that ring of fire and I'm here and I'm in the middle, it's like similar to pile number 2. Like the love that you give, the way that you elevate people, the way that you have people step up in their own lives, the way that you consume people and help heal people and really give to the people in your life, that's the real luxury. So that's really, really interesting, because see, this is what I mean about you guys. You do things in a way that's different to other people. So the fact that for you guys, your reading took a different turn to pile 1 and 2, and it was almost like we went backwards. That's really, really quite interesting, to be honest with you. Really, really interesting how we just got into the middle, and it's like, oh, it's like an archway, a threshold that appears when I'm worthy enough to come into your energy, and then it's like up through the archway, and it's like, I don't even think it's explainable what's actually luxury about you, because it's an energy. And you have to be on the right wavelength to really make it through those flames. Alchemist, you have to grow and be open to growing and you seeing the darkest parts of people for them to get in through those flames. Because if you try to walk through flames in a physical body or in anything really of this earth, you're going to get burned into ashes. But energetically, spiritually, you can walk through those flames, or you can allow yourself to phoenix through those flames and make your way in. But you have to leave all of that baggage and that shadow and those projections at the door, and to really purge those wounds and to really purge those parts of you out that would look at you in a distorted way. And that ego, it has to be alchemized, it has to be brought up, it has to be felt. So people are drawn to you maybe sometimes for ego purposes, and they see parts of you that are luxury, but it's like an ego thing. But to actually get close to you, that has to be alchemized and purged out, and you see it. So it's like, okay, I'll just allow you to phoenix. So people tell on themselves before getting close to you, if they just wanted you to fill a void, if they just wanted you on their arm, and naturally they get burned by the fire. But the right people are going to be able to walk through that fire because they phoenix as much as you do to get in the middle. That's really, really interesting. Your reading went somewhere else. Because the moon, you know, it's like the stuff I'm not seeing. So people are so consumed by the light, they're not really seeing you. That's why I was being shown, like, people in a party, and it's like I'm drawn to this person and what they're wearing and what they're doing. I've kind of lost track of where I was, sort of thing. It's really interesting. Let's pull some more cards. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Like, even stars in the sky and the sun are like burning, like stars are basically like burning planets, but that planet once had life. That planet was once, you know, something that was created and had force. So it's like I'm dwelling on the stars because they're pretty and I would love to look at a star, but really it's a planet that's burning, and there was a life to that planet because everything's energy, everything has a life. We don't really understand the depth of it. Like, we look in the sky and it's like, oh, the moon, but we don't understand the depth of why the moon's here. We don't understand the depth of things. And I think that's why a lot of the times human beings, this is what I mean, you've got a lot of wisdom, because now I'm going into that side. And I was going to say, that's why a lot of human beings, they're not aware of so much, because there's an ignorance a lot of the time with human beings to the greater scheme of things. So they're not aware of certain knowledge because they're looking in the wrong direction. I have 3 cats with me, guys. We have Veda, Jasper and Padme all here. Come on, Vedi. He's trying to look where to go. Veda, come here. There's room. You can see the cat, so he doesn't think there's any room. Come here. Let me just get him on the bed. Or is he going under the bed? Wanna come up? You come in? No, he wants to go underneath. He wants to go under the bed. He's gone underneath. He likes to sit in my bags. Pile number 3. Pile number 3, please, Spirit guides. Pile number 3. Pile number 3 is luxurious aspects. We have the gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. Interesting. Like, I feel like a lot of people would claim to know you, but they don't know you, and that's the fun thing. A lot of people have been like, yeah, I've been close to the flames. I know, you know, that ring of fire, but it's like, they've never even seen the goblet. They've never seen the goblet. It's never presented itself because they couldn't even make it through the flames. But then they'd be like, yeah, I saw the flames and they were really cool and they were really big and I got really close and I even touched one. Like, I see people like that. So it's like, oh yeah, I know my pile number 3s, and yeah, they're really cool and they're really good at dancing and they're really good at dressing and they're really good at this and they're really good at that. But like, they don't know you because they never saw the depth in you. They never really saw you. So there's a lot of people that could claim that they know you, but they didn't really, you know? So your luxurious aspects are actually hidden, which is funny because you come across as the most in your face luxurious in regards to how people are looking at you, but yet they don't even see the actual luxury behind the flames. Well, some people do, but only people that can get through, and that's a very few. But you have a way of making people feel like they know you when they don't. You know, people never really have you figured out, but they think that they do. Pile number 3. You're really intelligent and quite clever on a soul level as well as physically. We have the Queen, love and prosperity. Get one more card. Even the birds are agreeing. Pile number 3. I used to have a really pretty, it was like a big oak tree. Not at the bottom of my garden, it was my next door neighbour's garden. And when I was younger, there used to be an owl there, and it used to, you know, tweet like owls do. And then the neighbours, about, I think it was about 8 years ago, cut the tree down. And to this day, I'm so annoyed that they cut that tree down. They left all the other trees. They just cut that one specific tree down so they could build another shed. And I'm still annoyed, if you can't tell. Like, I really miss that tree being there. Like, I really miss it. Pile number... Oh, you have the Queen and the King. Authority and diplomacy. Interesting. And the back of the deck, you have Time is of an Essence, the Hourglass. Okay. Love and prosperity, authority and diplomacy. Why do we have these cards? Pile number 3, luxurious aspects that make people admire them. I think you have a very good balance of divine feminine and divine masculine energy. I think that you guys can be incredibly soothing, incredibly nurturing, and you come across very abundant. But I also think you know when to put your foot down, you know when to talk your ish, you know when to flex. There's a beautiful balance here coming through, and I think that's something that people really admire about you. I also think you're a very fair person. That's just something coming through. I don't think it's necessarily a luxury aspect, but I think it's coming through because to really be fair and to see both sides, you would have had to play both fields at one point. You would have had to understand someone, you have to really understand their depth and really come down to their level or understand what they're going through. And I think that because of that wisdom, you have the ability to really see both points of view, which creates a balance. So there's like that diplomatic side. So I think that sometimes that hidden luxury part that's inside the Ring of Fire does come out, but people just think, oh, they're just fair, when in actuality, no, you're seeing people really deep and you're able to see both sides. You know, it's deeper than that, but some people might not be able to see those depths. And maybe it's just because they're not supposed to. I think that Ring of Fire keeps you quite safe, actually. Pile number 3. I keep hearing the weekend wasted time, so I don't know if you have anybody in your life that you no longer speak to, that thinks about you, but that song's coming through. Wasted times I spent with someone else. That song just came through. So, and now I'm hearing Call Out My Name. I know both of the songs are on the same EP. So whichever one you want to listen to the weekend, Call Out My Name or Wasted Times, there may be a message from someone in that, only if it resonates. Only if you know or you felt that has a message. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. we have, I had this debate with pile number 2. Or was it pile number 1? I didn't know if it's Ellen of the ways, because if it's an E or an L. Or if it's 2 L's, in the Welsh alphabet, when there's 2 L's we go so like Llen of the ways. So I didn't know if it was an E or an L, let me know. But the message is patterns. So we have that card, and then let me get one more. We have beauty. Like I said, you guys are very attractive. You have this really beautiful aura. I feel like you could just wear anything to make it suit you and make it work for you. You just have that. We have beauty here. In the back of the deck, you have flow at the back of the deck. You're also somebody that's very upfront. I feel like you're not somebody that like you'll feel something in the moment and then move on from it. You're not necessarily someone that stays fully stuck pondering. It's like, this is how I feel, I'm going to tell you how I feel. If I'm angry, I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to move on. I'm not going to hold on to it. That was just something that came through as well. You don't have to have that. It's just something that kind of came in, because I'm being shown your emotions flowing. Like, I'll feel something in the moment, but then I'm able to turn it. See, this is another part of you that should be seen as luxurious, but people don't get it. People may think that like 1 minute, you know, you could be annoyed at them, but then you're not. So it's like, oh, they get over it really quickly, when in actuality you'll feel something and really hold space for that emotion, literally alchemize it, purge it, flow, bring in new energy. So now you're looking at it in a different way. So people are like, oh, they just got over it or whatever, but in actuality there was a whole process to that. And that's another thing that people are not seeing as a luxury. And that's why we have patterns here with the flow card at the back, because it's like you're constantly moving through cycles, you're constantly growing, and people are like, oh, they're just changing their style, they're just doing this, they're just doing that. No, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly being born again, dying from the ashes, being born again, becoming deeper, becoming more abundant, like continuously growing. And it's like people don't even see it because they're outside of the flames. They're not seeing the resurrection of this water cup over and over again. They're not seeing it, you know, unless they're really close with you, then they see that and see that as a luxury. But I see a lot of people not really seeing it, you know. Hi Patties. Patties can see birds if you hear little noises, so she's doing a little because she can see the birds. Are there birdies? Are there birdies, Pads? Did you see birds? Yeah, pile number 3. So that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I will have the link to Tay's channel, Goddess of the Unknown, in the description box with the link to her part of the video if you haven't already had it over there. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Palfo, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what do people find luxurious about you that makes them admire you. So you guys chose the clear quartz. I'm gonna start with tarot, then we'll move into your oracle cards, but I did hear a song to open up to you guys' reading. Let's wait for that car or van to pass. The minute I opened up to your reading, I hear Honeymoon Avenue by Ariana Grande. And in the song, she's being nostalgic about a connection and how it once was, and wanted to go back to when they were still in love, or when the connection was still very fresh and open, and you know, it was growing, and they've hit like a stagnant patch. That's basically the meaning of the song. And I hear that the minute I opened up to your energy. So you may find that a lot of people feel very nostalgic about you. I'll get into that, but I do want to say with you guys, I feel like you guys are people that grow a lot. Maybe somebody that's just always moving on, but I do feel for a lot of you guys it could be to do spiritually. It could be that you grow and change a lot and evolve a lot the more that you do inner work. And I think that for you guys, you're very in tune with your own cycles, so you may ebb and flow like the tide. So there's this feeling of like, the luxury aspect is when the tide's in, you know what I mean? We don't want to go down the beach when the tide's out. We want to go down the beach when the tide's in, because we want to be with the waves, we want to see the ocean, you know. That's then the luxury. So there's something about that and the tide coming in and feeling that luxury with you. But we'll get into it deeper as we get into the cards. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides, the clear quartz pile. What do people find luxurious about my pile 4s? What is it about my pile number 4s that people find luxurious? What is it about my pile number 4s that people find luxurious? I would also say that maybe you guys are like quite private, because there's almost this feeling of like being allowed in your inner circle and being allowed maybe in your car or in your home. That's a luxury. Maybe you're somebody that doesn't do that a whole lot, or stay in one place a whole lot, so that could be a luxury. I'm being shown SpongeBob and Patrick when they try to catch jellyfish with a net, so I think just maybe even trying to catch you in time, or have you around for long is a luxury. That's something that's coming through. Or being able to ride the waves with you and being able to keep up with you, and that ever-changing energy, that is another feeling of luxury that's coming through. You guys got the Knight of Fields, the Knight of Cups, ally, standing up and fighting, as your first card. I'm gonna lay the cards and then channel. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What do people find luxurious about my pile number 4s? What is... I feel like people see your soul as luxury. I feel like people see your essence as luxury. The wisdom that you give is luxury. You holding space for people is luxury, and I feel like that's something that people see about you. You know, you could be somebody that's very busy, so to really sit and take time with you, for you to sit and take time with someone and sit with them, that's a luxury. For you to really sit and, you know, bare your soul to people, that's a luxury. You could be somebody that does everything yourself and doesn't really lean on anyone. So when you do lean on people, or you do open up to people, people see that as a luxury. It's like, I've seen a part of someone, and I wanted to show you. This crystal was sent to me by one of my lovely collective, and I don't know if you can see in the window, but the rainbows here, I don't know if it's just going to show up too much on camera, but they are so pretty, the rainbows in this crystal. And when you think of the rainbows there and the color there, there's so many like colors in that rainbow. There's so many sides, and I just feel like you guys have a lot of different sides, where I feel like when people do see a more intimate side to you, or when people do see an aspect of you that they haven't seen before, that's then a luxury, because people know that you're deep and people know that there's a lot to you. So to see deeper parts and to unlock a part of you, I feel like people do see that as a luxury. It's like, I don't know what you would call it in other countries. Over here they're called winders, so they're like, it's like a chewy sweet, and then it's like I think you guys will call it like a fruit roll up. So like, you kind of like unravel it and then it like unrolls and it's like a sweet. We call it oh my god, I've actually forgotten what we call it now. Winders. We call it winders in the UK. I don't know what people call it everywhere else. I'm sure that would be the equivalent of like a fruit roll up. I don't know who says fruit roll up, but I've heard it. So there's something like that, like unraveling you is a luxury. Seeing the next part of the spiral is a luxury, or even to be able to stay in your life while you go through these phases, that then is a luxury. Because you could find that you outgrow people, you could find that when you put in new boundaries with people, they may not like that, and then you might have to move on from people. So it's like, stay in then, you know, that's a luxury there. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. What is the luxurious aspects of my pile 4s that I don't know if you guys wear like cologne and perfume that's like oceany, like I feel like an ocean air, you know, the Yankee Candle, I think it's called like Ocean Breeze or something. I'm sure that's what it's called. I don't know, there might be like a scent that you wear that's quite like that, or it could be that you live near the ocean or near the beach. I used to have it. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to my sister. It was a blue Victoria's Secret spray that I bought ages ago, and it was called Ocean something, and it was quite nice. But I gave it away. I don't know why I decided to tell you that, but there we go. So you have the Emperor, the patriarchy charting a path. I am seeing it as well, like with the ocean, you could travel, you could live by the ocean, you could travel, you could be across the ocean. You could travel for work, you could travel just because you like to. We have the Star, the Soul Cyclist, starting afresh. Yeah, I feel like you guys are constantly unraveling, moving on. Pile number 4. It's like when Alice chooses to come out of the Wonderland for me, that's a luxury. When Alice decides to and it doesn't matter what gender you are, you're just being represented as Alice. When Alice decides to Alice likes being down the Wonderland, so when she chooses to come up for me and stay above ground for me, that's a luxury. When Alice invites me to the Wonderland, that's an even bigger luxury. When Alice wants me to join her path on the Wonderland, that's a luxury. Like, that's kind of something that I'm picking up. One more card, pile number 4. Luxurious aspects. We have the Ace of Thoughts, Vision Board, a new opportunity, but it did come in the reverse. And then we have at the back of the deck the Two of Wands, which is the Two of Vibes, new career. Who's this? Making a choice. You could switch careers a lot. You could evolve in regards to your career a lot. You may need to be here, there, and everywhere. I don't think that you guys are like running from anything necessarily. I don't think that you guys are purposefully like, oh, out with the old, in with the new constantly. I do genuinely think that you are constantly shifting frequencies. Maybe you do a lot of healing, so what you once allowed in your life you don't anymore, or it's just that energy and frequency. Like, I connected with you and I used to go out and drink alcohol. I no longer do that, so we don't click anymore. I, you know, used to connect with you and we'd go to the gym and stuff, but now I'm not going to the gym and I'm doing this now. So it's like there's a lot of reminiscing about you and thinking about you, and like, I miss when the tide was in. It was a luxury when the tide was in. That's something. And then I feel like you're kind of out of reach, which naturally creates you as a luxury, because when something's out of reach, it's like a lot of human beings, we want what we can't have. When something's with us constantly, we can get bored of it. We can decide we don't want it anymore. We can look for where the grass is greener. But when we don't always have something, it becomes a treat. It becomes a luxury. It becomes something we only have sometimes. It becomes something that we only have when we're good, when, you know, we're aligned with it. And that then creates this luxurious aspect that you guys have, because the tide isn't always in and the sun isn't always out. It's not always a full moon, you know, where we can look at the full moon in the sky. There's certain times and you have to catch it. So when it happens, it's a luxury, you know? And that's how people see you guys. It's like a star, which we literally have the star, the soul cyclist, starting afresh. And I also think that people who see, whenever you see people in your vision, they feel it's a luxury. Like, for example, you could be building a career or building a business, and you have a friend that's like good at photography. You deciding that you want that friend to work with you and take photographs, they see it as a luxury, because it's like, you see me as part of your vision, you see me as part of your world. You kind of like need me, you want me here. So it's like, that's a luxury then, you know what I mean? To be a part of that, because I feel like for you guys as well, you may be very independent. You may be somebody that likes to do a lot of things on your own. So when you decide that you want someone with you, or you want someone to join in, or you may want to lean on someone, which might not be all that much, that's then when people feel like it's a luxury then, you know what I mean? And it's when you, that's the thing, it's not a case of, okay, so say now you are the person in the family that travels and does their own thing. To call you, text you, and bring you home, or to bring you to do something, that's not a luxury. For you to choose me, for you to choose to come home, for you to choose to host an event and I'm here, that's a luxury. I feel like that's a luxury to me. I think why I'm finding it hard to think of different ways in which you are luxurious is because you are the luxury, because you might not always be there. Or you might be a very closed book, so when you open up that chapter, that's then the luxury. So you are the luxury, you are the luxurious aspect. And when people are allowed to, and I want to say the word allowed, to see a colour on this, it's like, wow. Because you could be, you know, you could have a whole world in your mind, or a whole world that people don't know about. You know what I mean? You could have a very colourful and vivid inner world. You could have a very, you know, you could work on your career and your projects but not really talk about them all that much. You could be, you know, an artist and not really show your paintings all that much. So when you choose to allow people to see it, it's like, that's then the luxury. I think you can be quite mysterious. I do think as well, your guidance, any wisdom that you have in any area, I think that is also a luxury. When you choose to spill maybe your thoughts out, when you choose to bring that wisdom out, when you choose to give guidance to people, that's another luxury. But there's something really strong about when you choose to do it, not when people tell you to. It's only a luxury when you choose to do it, not when people want you to do it. Because then it's like, I've asked, so it's like they're doing it because I've asked, not because they wanted to. They are asking me about myself and getting, you know, wanting to be intimate with me in that way, emotionally and mentally, but not because I asked them to, just because they want to, because they envision me as part of that, like they're welcoming me into their world. And that's luxury. And that's why we have the Ace of Swords reversed, because it's like, I feel like people want to know more about you. People want to know what goes on in your world. People want to know what you're up to, and see more sides of you and see those parts of you. But it's like, you've got to choose when to come in. And the tides don't come in when we want them to come in. The tides come in regards to their own cycle and their own flow. So I think that you guys are very in touch with your own flow. And I think that's, like with you guys, you may be seen as introverted, because I feel like you'll only open up to people when you choose to, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be pressured into opening up to someone. You're not going to be pressured into showing people certain aspects of your personality or getting deep with people. They've got to wait for that, you know what I mean? They've got to hold space for that. They've got to sit on the stand and wait for the tide to come in. They've got to wait for it. So it's a luxury then when you do. It's a luxury when you choose to show yourself in full to people. That's another thing that's coming through, because you don't do it for a lot of people. I think you're very selective of who you allow to see you intimately and who you allow to see different colours, you know? So people could be seeing the colour blue and then be feeling like, but I know they've got all these other colours because they were shining yellow there and they were shining green there, but they haven't shown me that. So I don't want to tell them to show me those colours. I want them to show me. I want them to be fun and open with me. I want them to be loving with me. I want them to be soft and emotional with me. I want them to tell me off. You know what I mean? When I'm doing things, I want them to show me those sides. But I've got to wait until they want to or choose to. And then it's kind of like an honor or a luxury that they're choosing to do that, you know? It could be that you're super connected with spirit, but you don't show that to everyone. And it's like, I want to see that part. But it's a luxury for that to pop out. It's a luxury for the crab to feel safe enough, you know, coming out of its shell, or the oyster feeling comfortable enough to open, you know, the shell and present the pearl. Like, it's a luxury then, you know. So you are the luxury. You're the luxury in the shell. Pile number 4. We have the seer, follow your intuition. Some of you guys are super connected to spirit. Pile number... Ooh. Pile number 4. Oh, that's too many cards. Just 2 cards, please, spirit guides. Literally half the deck came out. Pile number 2, please. To see you and get you is the luxury. We have the sun. Your perseverance is rewarded. See, perseverance. When you want, like, let's say an animal to trust you, like, especially if an animal's like feral or something like that, you need patience. You need to sit back and allow them to come to you. You need to show them that they're worthy. So it's like, when you deem me as worthy or safe enough, or you mark me as safe to open up to, then I feel like it's a luxury. When you want to show those aspects of me, then it's a luxury. We have the dragon, strength and wisdom as well. On the back of the deck you have imagination clouds your judgment. So a lot of people as well could maybe project onto you a lot as to really who you are. I'm hearing Belle from Beauty and the Beast when she's walking through the town with her head in her box, and she's like, what was the lyrics? Like, they call her strange, and they're like, she's beautiful, but she's odd. She's always got her head in her book, sort of thing, and she's like singing while reading the books, and that's her own like inner world, and it's like they don't get it. But the right person then is going to get it and understand it, but they need to be on that certain wavelength, you know what I mean, to really see all that you are, to see that kind of dragon inside, to see that strength, to see that fire within you. You're not just going to show it to anyone. like I was shown like the dolphins moving through the waves. It's like, I want to be on that wavelength. I want to be with you. I want you to see me on those waves. I want you to envision me there. But it's not anything that, like, it's not you deeming people necessarily as worthy. It's like, oh, this vibration fits. You know what I mean? It's part of the puzzle. So when you're like putting another piece of the puzzle down, or you feel like you've outgrown someone, it's not that you're looking at them like, oh, I don't want you anymore. I don't like you anymore. It's not that you don't like them. You've just outgrown it. And you need a different puzzle now. It doesn't fit anymore. Whereas maybe sometimes you might get projections there, you know what I mean? People projecting onto you there, like, oh, why did they do that? They just cut me off. And I don't think it's necessarily that. I think that you just so in tune with your own emotions and your own inner cycles. You know when something's gone past its day or outgrown. You know when there's a rigidness. You know when a frequency has shifted. 100%. So let's pull your final oracle cards. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. We have death and magic. I'm hearing Belle when she's like, there must be more than this. I'm sure she says pretentious. There must be more than this pretentious life or something like that. Pile number 4. Let me go and get your card. It ran across the room. Sorry, Jessie. Those are my floorboards if you hear a weird noise. We have truth, and then a card actually spilled onto the bed, which I'm going to use, and Spider-Woman, co-creator. Okay, so we have death and magic. Let me move these over so you can see them properly. We've got death and magic, we've got truth, and we've got co-creation. And the back of the deck you have forgiveness. I think it's easy sometimes for people to project onto you when you're making certain moves, because it's like a lot of people do move with their ego, and a lot of people do have wounds. So like, for example, you could miss someone's message and miss someone's text, and they could maybe project like, oh, well, they just blanking me, and it's not that. You maybe just be so busy you don't see it. Or it could be that, like, you know, maybe you've got like an undercurrent, because I want to describe you watery. You could be my water pile. You could have like an undercurrent of like, I'm being shown an undercurrent taking me down to the bottom of the water. So like, you could be really going through something like a proper internal storm, like going through anxiety or something like that, but like you don't voice it because it's like, why? I don't need to. So like, you'd be dealing with that and then kind of closing doors so that no one else kind of gets affected by it, or maybe you just choose to work on it on your own. And it's like, people could be like, why are they not coming out? Why are they not around me? Why don't they want to see me? And they could take it personal, and it's nothing to do with them. And I feel like you have dealt with that at times, of people kind of like projecting that then, you know what I mean? It's like their wounds have not been able to allow them to see what really was going on. And I think as well, you guys are open very spiritually, and I think that you guys go through a lot of rebirths. Like, we've got death and magic here, so I think you go through a lot of rebirths. So in saying that, I think that maybe your winter phases where the tide goes out, some people might take that to heart and not get it, you know what I mean? And they may not understand that the water's going out and trying to grab it, and they might not respect your boundaries then, you know what I mean, and try and push on you, but the tide's out, and it's like, no swimming today, the tide's all out, you can't swim in the sand, like, wait, you know? And it's like, maybe sometimes that's why people don't understand your boundaries then, and then you shut that shell tight. So it's like, stop pulling on me, I don't feel comfortable now, I'm shutting off. And people may take that to heart, and I don't necessarily think that anyone's really to blame. I think that sometimes, because people don't have an explanation, sometimes I think maybe then they may get a little bit butthurt, but that could be their own wounds that it could trigger. But if you guys are especially voicing it, like, I'm going through something, I don't want to, you know, be so open right now, and they don't respect it, then obviously they shouldn't be doing that, and they should respect that. But either way, I feel like I do feel like that's something you do. So maybe when it's a winter phase and you choose to be open to someone and let the tide come into someone with someone, I think that's when people see that as a luxury too, because it's like, you're leaning on me, you trust me, you know? I think there's a lot hidden that people don't see spiritually. I think that there's a lot there's a depth to you that a lot of people might not see. Maybe you just feel that they might not get it. So when you do express that and you do talk in your language, I want to say, people do like that. People see that as a luxury. And again, with the truth, it's like seeing more colors of you, seeing your truth, seeing your true colors. So that's another luxury that is coming through, people really being able to see you like that. And being with the co-creation, I just feel like I said, you envisioning people as part of your you know, if you guys are working on something or your career, like you choosing somebody to be a part of that and co-creating with them, people see that then as a luxury, because it's like they want to work with me. And I do think if you've had someone that didn't understand why you were closing off on them and then maybe took it to heart and were mean to you, with the card of forgiveness at the back, I do feel like somebody might get it. Somebody might get it now but didn't get it before, and now, you know, they may be like more open in regards to forgiving you. I also feel like there's someone that you may be upset about that took it the wrong way, but I feel like if they understood your side of things, they'd understand it more, which would make more room for forgiveness. So there is a message from Spirit to not be scared to voice when it's your time for the tide to go out, just so that people know, if you haven't already, that, you know, the tide's going out and you may want to step back a little bit. Make sure you're voicing it so that there's no miscommunication. But for those of you that do, I feel like sometimes it might hit people's inner wounds, but there's this feeling of like, oh, the tide's coming back in and it's a luxury now and I'm happy again. Or they may reminisce on when the tide was in as a luxury, you know. But I think you're the luxury, powerful. I think you've come through as the luxury here, not anything that you necessarily do or possess. It's just you, and being able to see you is the luxury. Yeah, so pile number 4, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. The link to Tay's channel, Goddess of the Unknown, is in the description box, so you can head there. I will also have channeled songs as well in the description box if you want to listen to those as well. I felt really called to do songs today, really called to, I don't know why, so you can head there and listen to them as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.